5 minutes ago, inside the Senate Intelligence Committee hearing room, something happened that no one in that chamber was prepared for. Not a shouting match, not a classified document reveal. Just a question, a simple question. FBI Director Kash Patel was unable to answer this important question. To understand why that moment mattered, you have to understand the room. It was an afternoon session, C-SPAN cameras rolling, reporters packed tightly in the gallery. Kash Patel entered with an air of confidence, certain he had survived far worse sessions. Shoulders back, chin up, 3 attorneys seated behind him, 2 aides flanking the witness table, a folder in front of him that he never once opened. He had done this many times before. He knew how to manage his time. He knew how to pivot. He knew how to speak for 5 minutes without saying anything measurable. The first 30 minutes followed the script perfectly. Budget allocations, counter-terrorism updates, field office resources. Patel handled it smoothly. He glanced at his watch twice. Nothing felt dangerous. Then Senator Mazie Hirono leaned toward her microphone. The energy in the room shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically, but everyone felt it. "Director Patel," she said, her voice calm, almost clinical. "There have been significant personnel changes at the FBI since President Trump took office. I want to understand the scope." Patel nodded slightly. This was a subject he worked on. The room went silent. 5,000 was not a routine situation. It wasn't seasonal attrition. It was a purge. Patel's face didn't change, but his hands did. They went from resting casually on the table to pressing flat against it. Fingers straightened, knuckles turned white. "I don't think that number is accurate," Patel said. "You don't know," Hirono shot back immediately. And that was the moment the structure began to collapse. Hirono wasn't asking randomly. He knew exactly how to corner him. "How many special agents or analysts have left or been terminated since January 20th, 2025, she asked. "We'll get you the numbers," Patel repeated. "Anyone who retired did so voluntarily. Anyone terminated failed to meet standards and uphold their oath to the Constitution." But no one knew what those standards were. No one knew who defined loyalty. Patel wasn't explaining. "How many executive assistant directors or special agents in charge have left or been fired?" Hirono asked. Patel didn't answer. "I'm asking about FBI leadership," Hirono said, "and you don't have that answer." He knew very well that he wouldn't get an answer. She wasn't seeking information anymore. She was documenting refusal. "Next question," she said. "Which field office has lost the most personnel?" Patel began to feel uncomfortable. "Every field office received a plus-up," he said, "including Hawaii." This was the turning point. It was a significant discovery, from loss to gain. "So you're telling me no field office lost personnel?" Hirono said. "That is your testimony." "In Hawaii, there was a plus-up," Patel insisted. "In every state we've allocated increases so the FBI can continue historic achievements." Then he crossed a line. "When you're talking about firings," Patel said, "you're looking for a media hit and a fundraising clip, and I'm not giving it to you." People immediately began to react. Whispers could be heard, and audible gasps, reporters scrambling. The committee members began looking at each other. An FBI director had just accused a sitting senator of staging a political performance on live television. "It doesn't matter," Hirono replied calmly. "I just want to know how many people have left, and based on your testimony, nobody has." "No," Patel snapped. "That is not my testimony." The tension was no longer procedural. The tension was now personal, and the entire room was aware of it. "Which field office gained the most personnel since January 2025? Hirono continued. Patel answered without hesitation. "California, Then Florida, California, Florida. No one said it out loud, but everyone understood what that meant. The two states central to aggressive immigration enforcement, not counter-terrorism, not cyber threats. The FBI was being repurposed. Hirono changed direction. "You often refer to FBI agents as cops," she said. "But Congress empowered the FBI to take on missions local police cannot. Terrorists, hackers, spies." There was silence. And yet the executive assistant directors in charge of national security and intelligence were both forced out earlier this year. Who replaced them? "Highly qualified individuals," Patel answered, "who have led the arrest of 23,000 violent criminals this year alone." He stopped himself mid-sentence, realizing he was about to name the people he had removed. "I'm not going to give you names," he said. "Why not?" Hirono asked. "So you can attack them," Patel replied. But Hirono wasn't talking about Hawaii. She wasn't talking about crime stats. She was talking about terrorism. "Have counter-terrorism agents reassigned to immigration enforcement returned to their trained roles?" she asked. "Yes or no?" Patel started to explain. "Have they returned?" Hirono interrupted. "You're not letting me answer," Patel said anxiously. "Just yes or no," Hirono replied. "They never left," Patel said. "That's your statement," Hirono said calmly, and moved on. Cybersecurity came next. The leadership of the FBI Cyber Division had also left. "Who replaced them?" she asked. Patel changed the subject again with an evasive attitude. Arrest numbers, convictions, percent increases, impressive statistics, zero names. "I want to know who is running these divisions," Hirono pressed. "You're not getting that," Patel said. And there it was. Hirono wanted accountability and clarity. Patel offered performance slogans. Then she delivered the final blow. "Before your confirmation," she said, "I noted that your most significant qualification was your 100% loyalty to President Trump, and I fear that remains the motivating factor in your leadership." Silence reigned in the room. Not even paper rustled. Patel sat rigid, jaw tight, hands pressed flat. For just a few seconds, the mask slipped. Patel tried to control his voice as he said, "That's a complete lie," but in a harsher tone, "That is an entire falsehood." He began talking about his resume. 16 years of service, multiple administrations, the Constitution. It was polished, rehearsed. He had studied for his class. But Hirono hadn't asked about his past. She had asked about his present. Thousands gone, leadership purged, counter-terrorism sidelined. And there was a figure he refused to state explicitly. Within minutes, the videos quickly spread across all platforms. Agents across the country were watching, wondering who was next, wondering what loyalty meant now, wondering who was really running the FBI. 2 minutes. That's all it took. One question, but no answer. And that refusal will follow Kash Patel everywhere he goes.